And we're joined now by SNU head coach Trent May, talking about this evening's season opening loss to Southwestern Oklahoma State. And Coach, you said in the pregame you wanted to see your team fight. How did you feel that they did tonight with that?
Oh, we had moments, Luke. First of all, good to see you. It's been too long.
Indeed.
Way too long that we've done this, and so. But when you look at it, and you don't have any really test before we play tonight. You're playing one of the top teams in the nation, in my opinion. Very well coached, tough competitors, and then just gritty all the way through. And so, you hope that with the 7 players that we had, that you would just you always have that fighting chance that you want more and you expect to see more, and you just snap your fingers and walk on the court and do it. And sometimes there's a little bit more required than that. Our girls played hard, good effort. But just like with anything, you got to have the focused effort in the right directions. If you're asking me to run through a wall, and for me to exit the building, and I keep running through that wall, eventually I got to find the door. So it's still gonna it require effort. I just got to do it the right way. And so but again, it's basically first reps. For some returners who hadn't had a lot of minutes before, and there's always that new getting your feet wet mentality. And it's. So I think that there were some moments of fight. There were some moments of of good things, obviously, and it's hard to say in January there's still things to work on. But for our first game, yep, there's things to work on. But proud of the girls. It's tough battle, first draw. But at the same time, there's still opportunity ahead of us in a lot of ways, and there's valuable minutes in tonight. There's a lot of things that you can take from and learn from, and there's film doesn't lie, and so we'll be able to. I hope we fix a lot of things just by seeing it on film, and we'll be able to see not just they lived through it tonight, but being able to live through it again one more time, to see that film and see the things that didn't go right, and see the things that they can work on to correct. And I just told them before I came up here, I was like, hey, there were some positives tonight, so grab hold of those. Let's stack those together. Let's regroup tomorrow. Take the positives. Take the learning curve that we have to go through, and be ready to take care of ourselves to get ready to play on Saturday.
What were some of those positives?
Well, minutes played. Regardless of good or bad, I think anytime that you got minutes, that you have reference points, that you actually have yourself on film to go, wow, this is what I did really well, or this is the things I need to continue to work on. And so, you have, just like I said, the reference piece, from a lot of factors, from everything on the floor, and I think for minutes played, Lexi Ream, rebounds tonight, gets points on the board, first minutes as a college player. I think those are things you just build on, and you go, man, in my first college game, I know what it's like to get a rebound. I know what it's like to run the floor. I know what it's like to defend, one of the top teams in the nation. I know what it's like to get a rebound and put it back in. And she took really good shots tonight. I liked every one of her shots that she took, and there's no fear in that. And so you got to, if you're a basketball player, you got to be able to, and you're a shooter, you got to be able to pull a trigger. So sometimes if you have to tell somebody to shoot the ball, then they're not ready. But she was ready to shoot the ball, and I love that about her. So there was moments like that. Abby Nehus, she's been a post for us, obviously an inside presence for the last 3 years, and it's fun to see her. I knew that she would be an outside shooter. Not that that's what we're going to totally utilize her for, but a lot of teams are going to back off and they're going to set in the paint. But she's a very capable three-point shooter, and in fact, she would rival some of our guards at percentage-wise, and so it's fun to see her be 1 for 1 on the night. I like the point production from Cass. Efficiency we got to work on, but if it's like if you make a few more shots here and there and you get a few more stops, scores are different. Emily, played a great game. I think she played 40 minutes tonight. Her first collegiate game of playing 40 minutes. First time I think getting a start, and then first time playing 40 minutes. And so I could go on and on about the positives that you look at and you go, man, this is a first game, first opportunity, first on, right? First real test. And so you just, again, reference points that you take away, and there's multiple, and then there's, you look at a team like this, and if you're not in love with the fundamentals, Luke, if you can't dribble a ball full court fast, you're going to have team problems. That's a lot. A lot of people don't want to push the ball full speed, but sometimes that's required. And you're like, well, so that means, haven't y'all ran with the basketball before? Sometimes you gotta run, you gotta sprint, I should say, with the basketball and be able to stop on a dime and be in control. That might be required. And tonight we would sprint with the ball, and then that wouldn't work well. Drag our foot, bad pass out of bounds, and so it's being able to fall in love with the fundamentals. So, dribbling in a straight line full speed is a requirement. Being able to not throw the ball over your head, like I probably said that maybe 700 times this week. it's like you got to understand that we practice it all the time. I don't allow over the head passes. So it's like you get into the game, you got to fall in love with the fundamentals. You got to fall in love with the things you've been trained on to rely on so that you can go out there and play your best ball.
Absolutely. And now with a quick turnaround for Saturday, especially with a shortened bench, how do you handle that? How do you handle that going forward?
I've already started that. It's a great question. So I told them from this moment on, whatever you put in your body, it better be good. Good liquids, clear liquids. You got to foam roll tonight. You got to stretch out tonight. You got to get good sleep. You got to wake up tomorrow. You got to put good fuel in your body. So don't have I need to go have comfort food right now. Right? You don't need. That's the last thing you need, because again, your body's going to ask tomorrow, what did you do for me to have me ready? Because there's a requirement tomorrow, and the same thing it's all building blocks, and it's falling in love with the process, the fundamentals, all that stuff, and taking care of our bodies just as important as the X's and O's it is for tomorrow. Because if your body's not ready to play, the X's and O's don't matter.
Absolutely.
So the mentally part and letting this game go from the standpoint of like it's over. What can we learn from it? How do we step forward? What are the things we can fix quickly? But you got to take care of your body. That's the engine. If you don't take care of the engine, everything else breaks down.
Coach, great to see you guys back out on the court, and I know y'all enjoyed being out there. Result wasn't you want, but there's still Saturday.
Yeah, I haven't coached, and I didn't know if I'd still be competitive tonight. I haven't coached since March, so I didn't know if I was going to be on fire or not. If I was going to be fired up, and I think I was. My temperature didn't take long before it got boiling.
Yep.
But I love what I do, and I love the people I get to work with and people I get to coach. And so, shout out to the girls if they're listening that aren't here with us tonight. We miss them, and they're just a big part of who they are. And that's a true team is who you have, who the makeup of it is, and so we miss them, and we know they'll be with us soon.
Hey, we didn't hear you clearly up here, so that's a good thing.
Oh man, masks are a good thing, man. I may go with masks from now on, man. That's a saving grace in a lot of ways.
There you go.
So,
thanks,
all right,
Trent.
thanks guys, appreciate you.
Reminder: SNU taking on Southeastern Saturday at 2:00. We'll be there in Durant with full coverage, and hope you'll join us there on Crossover Radio Sports. We'll take a break now and get you set for the men's game coming up next here at the Sawyer Center.